How did a man named 𝐥𝐤𝐤 get killed by the police, and his family was unaware about what happened to him months later? Was this a police cover-up? I think it is, and we're going to look into it in this video. A quick rundown. 𝐥𝐤𝐤 was killed when he left his mom's home on March 5th. She filled out a missing persons police report, and she didn't find out what happened to him until August. That alone right there is going to raise questions on why his family was unaware about what happened to him. Now, could it be the police did a terrible job at what they do, or were they hiding it? And after you see this video, you're going to see why I believe that they were hiding it. Not only was this man killed by the police due to a so-called accident, but 4 years prior, his uncle was killed by the same police department. And that case has an active lawsuit against the city as well. So you tell me how the police can kill you, find out who you are, try to contact your family, don't end up getting in contact with your family, and then bury you. By the time his mother seen his burial site, it was too late. You guys let me know in the comments, do you think the officers did this on purpose because they knew they made this mistake 4 years prior with this man's uncle as well? We're going to jump straight into this story. But before we do, I'm not going to waste too much more of your time. Make sure you guys hit like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel. To keep up to date on stories like this, here goes my other social media sites, man. This is what we do. And this is the story of a man named 𝐥𝐤𝐤. Long live him. Let's get it.
Such a disturbing case, the DA says he plans to conduct a thorough and transparent investigation. The victim's family at a loss for words. They are looking for answers.
Furthermore, I think it is important that we recognize the tremendous loss that his mother suffered and his family has suffered, and that we lift them up in our prayers collectively as a city, and that we continue to support them as a community.
At the Hinds County Pauper Cemetery, 𝐥𝐤𝐤 is buried in plot number 672. Wade was laid to rest after his mother reported him missing earlier this year. It took police months to let the family know what happened to Wade. Wade was struck and killed by an off-duty JPD officer in a patrol car. It happened in early March as Wade was walking near I-55 at McDowell Road. People who know the family are skeptical about the police explanation.
Civil rights leaders called for a federal investigation into a case of a man named 𝐥𝐤𝐤, 37 years old, a black man from Mississippi who was reportedly struck and killed by police and buried without his family's knowledge. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, and if you don't know who Benjamin Crump is, he appears in almost every family you see fighting for justice these days, applying pressure on this criminal justice of ours. His achievements in the civil rights scene led him to an award recognition, okay? If you watch this channel, you see him all the time. Like, I can't count, but damn near every story, almost every story anyway, this man is on the scene with it. He and his team won his clients millions in settlements with civil rights lawsuits against these crooked cops. But that's a quick rundown on him. He is representing Wade's family, and Rev Al Sharpton are asking the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate Wade's death and the Jackson police's handling of it, saying that the police failed to notify the family. The last time Wade's mother saw her son was on March 5th when he left her home in the evening. He died that same night when he attempted to walk across the interstate highway in Jackson and was struck by an off-duty officer. An investigator from the Hinds County Coroner's Office responded at the scene and identified Wade by a bottle of prescription medication he had on him. So he didn't have a wallet or nothing like that. It was just a pill bottle, okay, a prescription pill bottle. The investigator was questioned and said he called Wade's mother and could not get through. And then he passed the information to the Jackson Police Department so it could notify Wade's next of kin of his death. The Jackson Police Department did not return a request for comment about this situation. So that doesn't sound crazy to you guys? If this investigator called his mom like he said, did he leave a voicemail? Because, a voicemail goes a long way. A text message, anything. But he's saying that he couldn't reach her. So something like that, like, how does a situation like this just go under the rug? Because that's what happened here. And if you handed the information to the police department, why did they not contact the mother knowing this man's name? If you ask me, once they found out who he was, oh hell no, they could not let that out. So that's why they did what they did, if you asking me. But it could be an honest mistake from what they saying. But I think that's bullshit. So back to it. He went missing March 5th. Wade's mother filed a missing persons report on March 14th and said that she nagged the department and begged them to help find her son. She even went on Facebook for months. So she was even on social media trying to find out what's going on with her son. So imagine you seeing that whole timeline play out. March 14th, all the way until the moment that she found where her son was. I'm pretty sure this shit going viral online and don't nobody know nothing. The Jackson Police Department don't know nothing. It wasn't until after a new investigator took over the case in August. She was then notified that her son had died. His body was eventually released from the morgue and was buried in an unmarked grave at Hinds County Jail, Penal Farm. That story alone is a crazy situation. It really gets darker when you look into who this woman's family was, because 4 years earlier, Wade's uncle was also murdered by this same police department. I mean, they are really up in the score on niggas in Mississippi, man. Here go a photo of him. His name is George Robinson.
Yes, Jade, this is where Robinson's family attorney, Dennis Sweet, says everything went down. Now, if you look beside me, this is the home where Robinson lived at before his death. And his family tells WJTV just a few feet from the front of his house is where his car was parked and where Jackson police pulled him out of the driver's seat before beating him and taking him into custody.
They're supposed to protect and serve us. But instead, we did not get protected. We did not get served. We did not get justice. Not yet. And I feel that the officers that was involved in this, they should be less like any other citizen. They should be in jail.
On January 13th, 2019, a 62-year-old black man died 2 days after a violent arrest by 3 police officers in Jackson, Mississippi. According to a grand jury indictment, the officers pulled Robinson out of a car, threw him headfirst on the pavement, struck, and kicked him multiple times in the head and chest. Robinson was treated at the scene, but within hours, he lost consciousness and later died at the hospital. The state coroner ruled this man's death a homicide. 3 officers were charged, but later, 2 of the officers' charges were dropped.
Charges are dismissed in the case of 2 officers accused of a Jackson man's murder.
George Robinson died after an encounter with JPD back in 2019. 12 News' 𝐃𝐨𝐬 is following the case that's allegedly tied to another officer. Tao?
Today was the last day of the case for the trial of 2 Jackson police officers accused in whose trial was just starting this week for second-degree murder, one of which, according to his attorney, remains on the force with JPD. Now, 62-year-old George Robinson died in January 2019, 2 days after the interaction with police on the evening of the 13th. His death ruled from blunt force trauma. Now, that's according to the Hinds County coroner. The trial that was brought to a close in less than a week involved testimonies from 12 witnesses, along with 3 eyewitnesses that were identified. Now, Hinds County District Attorney Jody Owens expressed surprise and disappointment at the judge's verdict for the accused Desmond Barney and Lincoln Lampley. Family members of Robinson say there is no hate while they continue to bring justice for Robinson.
So these 2 officers' charges were dropped. Only one of them got sentenced, and he was sentenced to 20 years with a suspended 15-year sentence. Here he go right here.
Circuit Court Judge 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞 sentenced Anthony Fox to 5 years in prison. Now, a different judge threw out charges against 2 other officers also charged in this case. The victim's family says they just wanted to make sure someone was held accountable for his death.
You were found guilty of the crime of culpable negligence manslaughter.
Former Jackson police officer Anthony Fox convicted in the death of a man who died more than 3 years ago. Wednesday, Hinds County Circuit Court Judge 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞 gave Fox a break after she handed down a 20-year prison sentence.
The court is going to suspend 15 of those years. You will serve 5.
Fox's supporters and his family reacting to the judge's decision.
This was just unfair. All around it was just unfair.
They didn't do justice out here. They didn't help him. They did not do justice out here for him.
Fox is a veteran officer who won more than 70 awards in 9 years with JPD, and he was currently employed with the Clinton Police Department. 2 weeks ago, a Hinds County jury convicted Fox of culpable negligence manslaughter in the 2019 death of George Robinson.
I just wanted justice for George. I just wanted to know who actually killed my brother.
Robinson's sister took the witness stand and urged the judge to remember her brother, who would have celebrated his 66th birthday Wednesday.
So the family of George Robinson, which is also the same family as Wade, has an active lawsuit against the city for the death still. So answer that for me. How do the officers have all this technology they have today and not know who is who? You can be driving on the road and they got this technology where they could just scan your license plate instantly in seconds and have all your information. They're gonna have your last name, they're gonna have your family, because I'm pretty sure members of your family, they've been locked up before too. You can't tell me that they did not know who this man was. So how did this happen? I just laid the facts out for you. Make this make sense. You can tell me all day that this was an accident by the police not doing their job, and of course the family, I guess their attorney, one of their attorneys, I don't know, he's coming out saying, accountability should be taken by the department. Man, fuck all that, man. This man was murdered and it was hid, and his uncle was murdered. Same police department, man. If this was your family, what would you do? There is body camera footage of George Robinson, the uncle. I tried to get it, I couldn't get it, but Mississippi, I don't know how many times I'm telling y'all about Mississippi. We done covered multiple stories of Mississippi, what's going on in Mississippi. I'm telling you, from the two guys shooting at from the two white men that were shooting at this FedEx driver, Machine Carter, I believe that was Mississippi. So like I said, I gotta take breaks because this shit get real. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you feel about this situation, but these are the facts. When more information comes out, I will keep you guys updated on it. But yeah, this is a real story. This is a real story. Peace, man.